Hi everyone, and welcome to the Capricorn February 2023 weekly illumination reading. This is I'm Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi everyone and welcome. In today's reading, we are going to be taking a look at the energies for the week ahead. So within about 7 days of you watching this video. We are going to be looking at the energy that you're bringing to the week. We're going to be looking at what's going on around you. And then we're going to be looking at a challenge, a block, and the opportunity that might be trying to come in. So let's go ahead and see what's coming in for you, Capricorn. Now, as I shuffle and pull these first cards, I can say we are heading into, depending on when you're watching this, a new moon in Leo. A full moon in Leo coming up this weekend. Ooh, that's a few too many cards there. We'll see if we can pull just a few less. And that new moon, I keep saying new moon, that full moon in Leo is going to happen on Sunday, February 5th. It's going to be a really emotionally, I get this, like, some people are calling it a dramatic full moon, but I get it that it's going to be more of a cathartic full moon where we get to actually see the mask that we've been wearing for quite some time that's been hiding that part of ourselves that's directly tied to our heart space, what we want to be seen as, who we want to love, how we want to love, how we want to love into life, if that makes sense. And for many of us, we will really feel that on a deep emotional level, which may feel dramatic to us, but maybe not dramatic in the sense that it has to involve a fight or a emotional outburst. It could be something that just feels almost that point where it gets to the core, where you feel those goosebumps that come up with that kind of release and realization. All right, so we're going to jump right in here. So Capricorn, we have a card here that is unique to this version, the centennial version of the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And it's a card for me that really speaks to the 10 of Pentacles, but an elevated version of this. This is looking at what is the story we want to, if you were, let's say, an elderly individual like this, and you had children that came up to you or many generations of your family around, and they wanted to hear the story of your life. What is that story? What do you want to share and impart with those who come generations after you? I also really feel that this is the card of the storyteller, of the individual who is reflecting on their life and may be getting to a place where some of you may be looking to write, some of you may be looking at what is that legacy I want to leave, and how do I want to start to impart that information to others around me. This could also be, sometimes I see this, depending on the situation, as even someone who wants to mentor or be a teacher to others. Now, in your surrounding environment, we have strength, which is a beautiful energy to have around you. It really speaks to the people who you will be coming in contact with are going to have this extra level of kind of courageous spirit. It's also asking you to have this kind of strength, I think, right now, to really go within, find the grace within yourself, because that's what this card speaks to. You see the individual here is almost like an angelic being prying open the jaws of the lion, and this is showing that through that angelic grace that we can find within ourselves, we can actually tame the inner beast within. And it's again, an energy that speaks to having that actually Leo, lion-hearted, heart-centered courage, but that comes not from us having to be outwardly aggressive, but instead finding that inner strength to either find peace or to hold ourselves kind of firm and steady in our conviction, but not in a way that is going to be, again, outwardly aggressive to another. It is truly finding a way to tame the beast within. Now, in your looking kind of from the past energy up to the present day, what I see here is that you're in a place of a little bit of that soul searching energy with the Hermit right now. There is this pause to reflect, to go within. You might be finding yourself maybe wanting to have a little bit more space, a little bit more alone time. And with the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Swords, I think for some of you, the Knight of Wands is that energy of going out there and doing what feels good. This is the person who, if they see it and they want to do it, they're going to do it. They don't really think twice. And they may enjoy it in the moment and then never look back to do it again. That's why sometimes this energy can be a little flighty as well. It can be the individual who says they're going to commit to something, and then because they no longer care for it or it doesn't interest them, they might not show up to the party, so to speak. But I think for many of you, I'm going to look underneath. Yeah, there's a little bit of heartache coming through with the heart, with the Three of Swords. That I think for many of you, maybe you went out with this energy, this kind of Knight of Swords, to free yourself from sitting with a little bit of wounding from the past. And I think with the Ace of Swords, there may actually be a realization. The Ace of Swords is clarity. It's kind of that aha of maybe perhaps where one of two things. Either you didn't commit fully to something from the past because of that kind of heartache and wounding. You maybe were running from it for quite some time. Or where maybe you felt trapped by that heartache, that you couldn't be free, that you couldn't just go and kind of live as this individual who wanted to go out there and experience life. And that might have led you now to really look within, to say, what part of myself, maybe if I've been running from something for some time, where did I lose myself in that process? And now how can I get back to me? How can I get back to really focusing on my family, the generations below me, and the generations to come up that will be the future? And how can I start to really find the magic in my story? That's what I'm seeing here. Is how can I find the magic in my story? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look now at, we're going to look at the challenges, potential blocks, and then the opportunity that's coming in for you. So let's go ahead here and see. Ooh. What does Capricorn need to know about the challenges, blocks, and opportunities this week? Cards are kind of quiet for you guys. So maybe you really are. Yeah. Okay. Maybe you are really going into that kind of hermiting, soul-seeking energy. So we have the Two of Cups as your main point of challenge for the week. But that's a beautiful energy. The Two of Cups is where you are connecting on equal footing with another or others. It's that beautiful supportive energy. You see these individuals holding hands, and with the cups coming in, this is connecting on that deep emotional plane. It's also where you get to bring your cup of your needs, hopes, dreams, and desires, and you get to share it vulnerably with another who has their cup to share. Now, on the other side of that, we have the Nine of Wands, with the Page of Pentacles at the heart of your reading. Now, the Nine of Wands is the card of someone who is burned out. They've come a long way. They've gone through a lot. It tends to be that weary, wounded warrior energy. And now let's go ahead here. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Emperor, clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to pull that up here. I'm actually going to push all these guys up here so we can get them in the frame. Okay. So, as I was saying, with the Nine of Wands, there's that feeling of, oh, I've come so far. I'm exhausted. I don't know if I can keep going. And I think for many of you, this might just be even looking back as you're kind of doing soul searching, as you're looking at, what is that story you want to impart for others, finding the magic in your story. There can be this feeling of all of a sudden seeing all of what you've gone through, all those things, no matter how old you are. We could be 30 and looking back from when we were in high school. We can be 65 and looking back from when our children left the nest, in our early 40s. But there's always that kind of moment where you take that time to look back And you get to see all these wands around her are all the things, all the challenges that she had to take action, all the hurdles she had to get through. And I think here with the Two of Cups, there's this opportunity to really connect on a deep level with either a single individual in your life or others on that level. And pushing that away, again, because this is vulnerable communication, vulnerable sharing of yourself on that emotional level, that I think there is something here where if you would share with another kind of what you're seeing here, what you're feeling, what you're kind of looking back at and how far you've come, and maybe even the lessons you've learned, that you can actually get into a place of almost renewed spirit, or into a place where you can have faith again. Because there is an opportunity here. You have the Ace of Pentacles and we have the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles at the heart of your reading is what you're being asked to embrace. The Page of Pentacles is someone who has a seed or has something in the physical, but they're being asked to go out now with this kind of childlike curiosity to see, where does this seed belong? What can this seed do? It's going out there to ask those questions, to start to play in the physical again with what you have, but with that element of curiosity that a child always brings. Now, with the Knight of Cups on the other side of this is the card of going out there as the hopeful romantic, rose-colored glasses and all. But for me, this card is really speaking with its tie to the Piscean energy, that this is that card of going out there on faith, going out there on that new adventure to share yourself vulnerably with others, to find that level of emotional connection, but doing so with, again, that optimistic, hopeful faith, in full faith that you will meet others who will connect with you, that the actions you're taking now, the seed you're planting, is going to grow into something that will be your legacy, that will be a part of what you get to leave behind. And we have the Emperor here, which is your final point of challenge. And this is what you're being asked to really take a look at and face, because the Emperor is a reminder that we are each the emperor to our own empire. We are the center of our own universe. Each one of us lives our own life, and we can't expect others to live that for us. And yes, we may have to share that experience with others, but ultimately at the end of the day, we have to decide what's in our empire's best interest, especially when we're being given a gift. And the Ace of Pentacles is that gift. This can be a gift of maybe some of you have an inheritance, or some of you just retired and you have the gift of time. This can be where maybe this new gift is something, again, in the physical. This could be something that's new and changed in your life, but suddenly it's the opportunity to plant something new, to grow something new. And this Emperor has the opportunity to start to see what he can do with that, to embrace this energy of the child again. This is almost like, for some of you, I think you've been kind of wrestling a little bit with maybe not wanting to change, not wanting to take that last step of action because you're exhausted. And this is saying, it's almost like the child who kind of comes up to the when you think of an emperor sitting on his throne, and maybe he's been mulling over how to do something for some time and he just can't see a way around, or he's just exhausted. He's been running his empire. And all of a sudden this little child runs up with this something, this toy, this whatever they have in their hands, and there's this fresh, youthful energy of saying, well, have you thought of doing this? What if we just plant it over here? And then everybody can come and see the beautiful tree. And it's almost like this part of yourself needs to come through to get this Emperor to move. You see that he's holding a chess piece in his hand as well. And I think for many of you, there is this, again, it's almost like he's holding the Ace of Pentacles here. Like he's trying to see, where do I put this? Where can I place this? What's my next move? And I think your next move is going to come ultimately from connecting intimately with another, sharing what you're going through, coming out of this kind of hermiting phase, and seeing how you can get into this energy of maybe just, again, being more of the curious, faithful optimist of let's put the chess piece down over here. And that might come from someone else in your life who has maybe a different perspective than you, who is willing to support you, who says, yeah, let's put that chess piece on the board. Let's have the strength to do that. So I'm going to pull some clarifiers here. We're going to get a little deeper into this message. But keep in mind, there's really this, it could almost be a mantra that some of you need to really say to yourself over this next week. What is the magic in my story? Or to say over and over again, there is magic in my story. How can I share it? Okay, so we have the Two of Cups clarifying the Two of Cups. Well, there's not, this is double confirmation. It's time to share. It's time to openly connect with others. It's time to bring that vulnerable state out. Because there is support for you now. Maybe there had not been in the past. That could be what's hiding under the Knight of Wands. That there could have been others who have hurt you. Or where something didn't work out. Okay, that's way too many cards. We'll see if we can get a few less here. I want to see if I can get one more for that Two of Cups. And it's saying it's time to, you can't run from that anymore. But you can be free. You can still be free to do what feels good, but not in a way that's running from facing those wounds of the past. And there's the Three of Swords again. Okay, so there's not going to be, this is just double amplification of the message that yes, it's time to communicate about heartache, about those wounds of the past, and to maybe share them with another. Maybe this is involved with another individual in your life. Okay, yeah, we had the Two of Coins. Yeah, some of you are just burnt out from what you've always had to do in the day-to-day. Eight of Wands and the Devil. Yeah, this may be that, with the Two of Pentacles, this is where we just get kind of lost in the day-to-day. We're just juggling. It's making a choice now as to when we look at all these pentacles coming in. It's now, well, what do you want to prioritize? You can't do it all. None of us can do it all. So if you have something that you need to prioritize, Capricorn, it's time to really make that prominent. Because with the Eight of Wands and the Devil, the Eight of Wands is a card of, it can be fast movement. It can be quick communication as well. This can actually be like electronic communication. And maybe for some of you, there is a little bit here of one of two things. Either with the Devil coming in, this could even be where you're avoiding your life or avoiding prioritizing something by being too much on social media. This could also be where you are with the Devil coming in. There might be movement. There might be, when you think of the Eight of Wands to the Nine of Wands, it might have been a lot all of a sudden, all at once, maybe a lot of change. And you've been having to kind of go through it. But the Devil is holding you back from really making that final kind of big change in your experience to say, okay, I'm going to prioritize this now. I know I'm exhausted. I know it's been a long slog to get here, but there's something new that wants to come in and something new that I need to share with another in my life. And this can be where some of you, it may be that you've been trying to do too much and it's burned you out, or where you've been, again, holding yourself back from kind of going with the flow of the energy that's coming through. So keep that in mind. If there's kind of the call to go and you're like, oh, no, I can't because I'm tied. Again, strangely, I don't know why this is coming through. Maybe it's just a message for one or two of you to hear, but there is something here around. I do get the feeling that there might be a little bit of a tie, kind of a negative hyperfixation on maybe electronic devices. Again, this could be being on social media too much. This could maybe be on the computer too much, being on your phone too much, something along those lines that's holding you back from really seeing how you can prioritize something that's very important to you in your experience, this new seed of something new. And yes, here comes the 10 of Wands. So you have the 8 of Wands to the 9 of Wands to the 10 of Wands. And there's this final point here where I think you get to cross that threshold. The Ten of Wands is the closeout of a major cycle. It's putting down a major burden you've been carrying for some time. And it's saying, because it's time to plant that seed. So instead of kind of juggling all of this and juggling all this movement and holding yourself back from taking that final step of laying down that burden, the burden you've been carrying for a long time, the burden of how far it's taken you to get to this point. It's saying, okay, it's time to take that seed, whatever it is, the money, the home, the new job, whatever's, there waiting in your life to be planted, and it's time to put down your burden so that you can start to plant in the physical. And we have Knight of Cups and we have Nine of Swords. Yeah, here's that Knight of Cups again. For many of you, you want to go out there and with that faithful kind of romantic, yes, let's put the money down on the house. Yes, let's start the business. Yes, let's move to a new location or start that new job. But you're afraid of putting down this burden. You're afraid of getting into this energy of, I just want to go out there and emotionally connect to my life and share of myself. And it stems back to the wounding from the past. And it's time to face that and to put down the burden just so you can start planting again. So you can start really, I'm hearing either put down roots or commit to something that will become a legacy for yourself. So yeah, with the Knight of Cups, we have the Three of Wands. Yeah, it's waiting for your ships to come in. It's looking to the horizon for the new opportunity. And then we have the Four of Cups, because there's something you're dissatisfied with in your current experience. And you want to go out. You want the new opportunity. You're waiting for something to come in. And you want to adopt this idea of what, if I'm dissatisfied with what I have now, then what's new? What's going to come in? I need to get on my horse and start to go out there to share, to connect emotionally. Now we have the Hanged Man here with the Emperor and the Ace of Pentacles. This is seeing something from a new perspective. The Hanged Man is when we are forced, and this card is also a card of Pisces. So you have a lot of Piscean energy in here, which Pisces is the card, or is the sign that really understands the depth of our experience. They can go, Pisces is the two fish. One fish goes down into the depths of the emotional underworld, the kind of darkness that lies within and all within our whole experience. And then one fish that can go up to literally the heavens or the ethers or spirit, the realm of spirit. And so there's this mastery of being able to really see all sides, but from a spiritual perspective. And the Hanged Man comes in here to say, there has been a forced change in perspective for you. And that maybe now you're seeing either your empire from a different way. And yeah, Judgment. Wow. Judgment, major change. You're a new person. You're a new person. And I think for some of you, you have a new story to tell. A new story that wants to be seeded at this time. And this can be very difficult. Judgment can be when we go through a major life change. This can happen when we become a parent for the first time, when we retire and we are no longer part of maybe a career field that we had always been in. It's when we start to identify as a new version of ourselves. The first time you become a grandparent, the first time you get a new job and you actually are now part of the working world, where you go off to college, but there's something here where you have changed. Something within you has changed and you can't go back to the old version of yourself. And I think that's the clarity now, is who are you today? What are you planting? And as the new individual with this new perspective from what has changed in your life, what now do you want to focus on to plant? What now do you need to prioritize in your day-to-day life to get you out of this kind of stagnancy of feeling exhausted and drained, and where you can get into this childlike energy of, with full faith and emotional connection, I'm going to go out there and be excited for what's coming up, because I'm not exactly happy with what's going on right now, not fulfilled. And this is saying this is the new path of emotional connection, emotional fulfillment, but as the new you. I really like this, Capricorn. It's an interesting reading. Okay, I'm going to pull a final card here for your reading for the week. Again, keep in mind, there is magic in your story. So what is this story? What is the new story? What is the new you and the new story that you want to tell. Find the gift in your story up to date, and then now what's the new story going to be based on? And with the Hermit, that's a beautiful opportunity to find that deep dream wish within yourself again. Okay, so we have 3 cards that came out for you. We have Stag Spirit, take the lead. Yes, very much adopting this Emperor energy here. Number 58, which breaks down to number 13, which is the energy of death and transformation. So beautiful. And yeah, with Strength coming in, I think this is time for you to take the lead, but from a place that is, again, a very controlled place, a place where you're taming the beast within to find that inner strength to come out as the new you, but to start the new path forward. And then we have Snake Spirit, time to heal, number 55, which I love. 2 5s, number of change, but they come together to create wholeness, which equals number 10, further breaking down to number 1. The endings and beginnings lie with the change that you have within yourself and the changes you're willing to make in your day-to-day and, where you prioritize your time. Time to heal. Yeah, it's time to share those wounds of the past. It's time to get rid of that burden, to put that burden down in the sharing of yourself intimately with another. And then we have Turkey Spirit, give with gratitude and grace, number 61, breaking down to number 7, which is that confidence we get when we know with full faith we are co-creating with Spirit, that God, the universe, the divine is always with us. And that's how we get to give of ourselves. We get to give to this new seed that we want to plant. I'm going to pull just a few clarifiers to see if there's any additional messages that want to come out here. Okay, so what does Capricorn need to know about Stag Spirit? Take the lead. We have 2 of Cups again. Oh, goodness. Ace of Pentacles again. Okay, so again, not getting a lot of clarity, but there is something here around connecting this seed with the ones that you want to support you. It's beautiful energy because 2 people have cups that contain the water of love for themselves, of love for the divine, of love for everything, and they get to water this seed with that. And then we have the King of Swords, and this is a card that really speaks to, you know what you know. This is the individual who's going to come forward and be the truth stater, so to speak. He is able to see all aspects of a situation with a clear mind, state the truth. This is also the card of Aquarius. So for some of you, you may have an Aquarius in your life who is coming forward with this energy, maybe telling you or bringing you, kind of leading, the horse to water, so to speak, with the 2 of Cups here. But there is something here around a fresh start and a deep, intimate renewal. The 2 of Cups can be a renewal and a connection as well. But there's also this element of King of Swords of you know what you know. And trust that. All right. Let's see about Snake Spirit. Time to heal. Yeah, I really like it. I feel like many of you have gone through a major life change. Ooh, I saw the sun in there. I'll see if it comes out again. A major life change with judgment that speaks to that. Again, there has been something in your life that has changed, most likely for the good, because it is giving you this new start. And this new start is one where you get to kind of, I think, clear the decks with another person that you intimately share your life experience with. And now it's time for both of you to get on board to nurture this new start together. Snake Spirit, time to heal. What does Capricorn need to know about a time to heal? Well, if nothing comes out, I will move on. So here we go. It's interesting you got the sun, and now we have the moon with the King of Cups. Interesting. Yeah, time to heal. The moon is a card of kind of showing that the way is unknown, but The King of Cups is an individual who is deeply spiritual. He can be seen actually as the spiritual advisor. He's also someone who is strongly in command of his emotions. He's truly emotionally mature and intelligent. And this is saying it's time to get into that place to really help you navigate what is unclear at this point. When we think about it, anytime we start something new, the way is always going to be unclear. There's never going to be that 100% assurance of, okay, this is exactly what's going to happen if I do this. For anyone who is a gardener, you understand this. You may plant one year certain, either plants or even, edible, vegetables or things like that. And one year they grow like gangbusters and you barely have to, give them any water, any sustenance. And then another year, they may flounder, even with you giving them all the time and attention and energy. But the King of Cups knows ultimately at the end of the day, it's what's in his cup. It's what he loves to do. It's where he finds that emotional connection. So he is willing to put that time and energy regardless of the circumstance, because it's his connection to his life experience, to what he's choosing to do. And he has the ability to really navigate from that place of spiritual connection, intuition, to navigate through the darkness, through the way that may be seen unclear. And so that's really where I think the most healing can come from for many of you, is getting into that place of emotional stability, but also getting really, really, with the Four of Cups coming in under here. There's something that has long not been emotionally gratifying to you. And this is that reconnection to that of, this is what I want. This is what I enjoy doing. This is what fills my cup. And that's going to be my focus from this point forward. And with Turkey Spirit, give with gratitude and grace. We have Four of Wands. That can be giving to a marriage. That can be giving to a new foundation. Page of Swords and the Sun. There's that Sun. I think for many of you, there's been a little bit of trying to find the truth around a commitment, a partnership with the Page of Swords. That's trying to find context. And the Sun comes in and gives you that beautiful clarity of, maybe some of you, maybe that's where a little bit of this running has been from, this Knight of Wands, of not wanting to maybe commit fully to a commitment, to either this could be the foundation for a business, this could be the foundation, though I'm really feeling strongly, for a marriage or a committed partnership. And that now it's time, you're seeing the truth. That's where the clarity is coming in. That, maybe you have been one foot in, 1 foot out the door, or there has been something that has not been emotionally satisfying here because of heartache from the past. And it's time to share that heartache. It's time to come together, and it's time to put down that burden. And it's time for you two, because this is very much focused on Two of Cups, you and another, to come together to nurture this seed. It's time. You know what you know. That's what the King of Swords comes in and says. It's time. You know what you know where you need to do it. And you're a new person. You have a new start, and it's time to start looking at your life from that kind of fresh perspective. All right, I'll leave you there. Capricorn, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I will be posting readings for all signs for the new moon this upcoming weekend, so you can check that out at the end of the week. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website to see a list of my services. And if I don't see you there, I will see you next week for your next Illumination reading by Capricorn.